Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes. I'm feeling rather foolish today. Anyway, here is my review for Benjamin ALIRE SAENZ, The Inexplicable Logic of My Life. I listened to it on Audible, so I do not have the book. Okay. This is a really, really hard review for me to do, and I actually said that I was going to do reviews for every book that I read in 2017, and I haven't stuck to that necessarily. There's been like 2 books that I've missed, but the other day, the author of The Pecan Man reached out to me and found my review and was so thankful, and she posted it on her Facebook and she retweeted it and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, I need to start doing these reviews. Like I said, I would do them at the minimum for the author, and maybe one person would hear about a book that they had never heard of before, you know? So, that kind of inspired me to keep on doing these reviews. I'm slow. Do you guys see it? It's so hot today. It is 86 degrees. Woo, mama, the biscuits are done. I mean, it is so hot, and I just feel like I'm ugh. Okay. Let's pull it together. This is a book review. Shake it all out. Okay, so if y'all know, what you don't know is a lot. Benjamin ALIRE SAENZ is one of my absolute favorite authors of all time, okay? Yes, I found him through Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, but then I went on to read Last Night I Sang to the Monster, Sammy and Juliana, I think that's what it's called, in Hollywood. There was one other book of the Kentucky Club, and there was something else that I read of his. But anyway, I love his books. I love him. I think he's magical. So anyway, there really isn't anything that he could put out that I wouldn't like. And I did end up giving this book 5 stars. On a percentage scale, I'm going to be honest with you. She'd get a low A, okay? Now listen, I loved the book, and it redeemed itself at the end, but it was way too long. It was way too wordy in the dialogue, and there just was long pieces that were unnecessary. And this is the thing that I really struggled with. So, I'm just going to read you the caption from Goodreads about what it's about. That way, I thought I would start doing that. That way, I wouldn't be giving away anybody things that people don't already know, right? So, here it is. The first day of senior year, everything is about to change until this moment. Sal has always been certain of his place with his adoptive gay father and their loving Mexican-American family. But now his own history unexpectedly haunts him, and life-altering events force him and his best friend Samantha to confront issues of faith, loss, and grief. Suddenly, Sal is throwing punches, questioning everything, and discovering that he no longer knows who he really is. But if Sal's not who he thought he was, who is he? And there's so many things that happen in this book, but it's very character-driven. It's not plot-driven at all. His other best friend is this guy named Vito that I absolutely love. He's one of my favorite characters in the book, if not my favorite character. Besides the father is just so lovable. But the father reads very much like Benjamin ALIRE SAENZ. The whole time I was reading the book, I was like, is this him? It's so interesting when you're reading somebody's book and you wonder how much of their personal life they're putting into it. I know that a lot of that isn't true, what's in the book about him. This is the world's worst review in the entire world. I don't really know what to say about it without giving it away, okay? There's a shit ton of death in this book to the point that it's almost a zombie movie, okay? It doesn't make any sense. This is what really I did not like about the book, okay? Is that you can tell reading the book that he is such a fantastic writer because it's almost like he tries so hard to fuck it up and he can't because he's such a beautiful writer, if that makes sense. I was so bored with this book and I still ended up loving it. How is that even possible? It just wasn't the greatest read in the entire world, but the characters were fantastic. His character development, I feel like I know each of them as people. His character development is incredible. If you loved Aristotle and Dante, you have to read this book. You have to, And so it's really hard for me because I feel so dedicated to him, but it's no, I wanted better for you. I wanted better as a writer for you, and I know you could have done better, right? And I really think, that this, for him as an author, that there was some cathartic things that maybe, like this was a cathartic experience for him. There were things that he was working through. You could tell reading the book that this was the author's journey and that it was very personal for him and that there was grief in his own life or loss in his own life and things like that, because it is overabundant in the book, okay? I need to tell you, don't go read any reviews about it, because there's this thing that happens in the book, and they say it like at the beginning of every chapter, and it's WFTD. And I I'm like halfway through the book, right? And I'm like, what is this WFTD? Did they say it at some point and I don't remember them saying it? And so I Googled it and found every interview about the book, okay? Of which they give away every secret about this book, when I hate that they do that. And WFTD stands for Word for the Day. So that's all you need to know. And it doesn't really even carry any weight. I mean, even at the end, I thought it would have some profound moment. It doesn't. It doesn't. But I will tell you that he does something that I absolutely love. And he weaves the title of the book into the book. I was like, perfection. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, he's such a fantastic writer, you guys. Such a fantastic writer. And what I love about him is that he can jump from different genres, okay? Because I would have considered him a young adult writer, or young adult author, but if you read Last Night I Sang to the Monster, which is about an 18-year-old drug addict in treatment, yes, juvenile to some degree, but most of his friends are like 30 and 40, 50 years old in the book. I think his best friend's even older than that. I mean, it reads very much like an adult book. I mean, Benjamin ALIRE SAENZ is an amazing, amazing author, you know, and I just wasn't, like, for the next book to come out, I don't know, it's very much like John Green, you know, like, if John Green doesn't put out another Fault in Our Stars, will everybody be like, this is the worst book he ever put out? That being said, when I was, like, towards the end, when I was reading it, I thought, really, you know, think about this from the point of view of just loving this book, never having read any others. And if that were the case, and I had never read any of his other work, I probably would have given this book a low B- or a C. I mean, it just wasn't that fantastic. And I wanted it to be so much more, and it just wasn't. The cover was absolutely gorgeous. But, I mean, don't judge a book by its cover. The characters, I thought, were developed so intensely that I really knew who they were. And I loved them. I loved all of the characters, you know? But other than that, the plot seemed very contrived, and it felt very forced. So, I don't know, you know? Like, I would love to see what he puts out next. I think he's an incredible author. And I think you can't judge somebody's entire work by their last piece of work. So, you know, and I have 2 of his books that I haven't read, so maybe I'll go read those now and get real excited about it. Anyway, I don't know. It's so hard when it's an author that you love and you're like, I can't give him 3 stars, because I felt like the book deserved so much more than that, you know? So I ended up giving it 5 stars on Goodreads because I did think the characterization was amazing. And go check it out. I mean, you have to read it. If you love him, you have to read it. And I don't regret reading it. It was a fantastic read, and I bawled my eyes out the last half an hour, like I always do in every book, because I'm just a sap like that. So anyway, I love you guys so much, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.